Hey guys, this is Bobby. I wanted to equip you for what we're rolling out now. If you haven't heard already, you probably will soon, and that is this, that Tom Smith is rolling out that the sound guys have lead sheets for every worship set every week. And I felt like, obviously, we talk about that you guys are the band, you guys are a part of the band, and I started to think, well, why don't we have lead sheets for you guys so you know every nuance of the song? I mean, there's nothing like, the band practicing all week, and maybe there's that harmonica part, and because the sound guy didn't have the practice, or maybe didn't have the lead sheet, that harmonica worked on that part, that player worked on that part all week long, and the sound guy missed it because he didn't have access to the same lead sheets that the band has. Well, now we're replacing all of that. We're making sure you guys have lead sheets. So the first thing is that you, if you are on sound for that week, you will be included, and I'm sure this has been happening actually for a while, but you have those lead sheets. So it behooves you to take a look at those lead sheets that come out each week, especially for the week that you're on, and then begin to listen to the songs and make special notes. What kind of notes should you be making? Well, number one is the instrument that begins the song. How does it begin? Is it a keys-driven song? Is it a guitar-driven song? And if it's a keys-driven song, then make sure to not have that guitar up louder than the keys. If it's a cappella vocal-driven song, then make sure not to have the keys up louder than that vocal part, and vice versa. What starts the song? What's the predominant instrument that begins the song? And begin to go through that. If you don't have the capacity to make copies of your lead sheets, then we have, starting now, will provide for you copies that will be on the sound console every Thursday night when you show up here for rehearsal. So what you can do is take the notes that you've created on a separate pad of paper while you've been listening to the songs throughout the week, and you can transfer those notes from that pad of paper to your lead sheet. And so what I want to do is just to give you some pointers on what it looks like to fill out a lead sheet, and to, what types of things you're looking for when you make your notes. You should have a lead sheet for every song, and you should have notes for every song, just like a guitar player or a drummer or a vocalist. And you should know and not be surprised as to what instrument is going to shine, come up, come down, who's singing the main part, who's singing the backup part. All of those things are the types of things that you're putting on these lead sheets. So now let me direct your attention to the lead sheet, and then I'll kind of talk you through it. So here's a song that I've picked just to use as a tutorial, and it's Tiffany's song, Confidence. Now that intro begins with quite an elaborate, an epic intro, and that's, the E-G, it's got the drums in there, the bass is also in there, and then there's keys. So that's kind of this predominant thing, and you're thinking, okay, I know that what's primary to this is keys and E-G. I need those guys standing out pretty strongly every time this hook rolls around. So you would write intro, keys, and E-G. And then you would write yourself a little note. What about it? Is it keys and E-G soft? Is it keys and E-G push? That's kind of, if I was doing it, I would kind of push them hard. I would make myself some sort of note that means these two guys are the predominant instruments that bring out. If it was a vocal that began it, and these guys were soft, I would say keys and E-G soft, vocal hard, or vocal push, something like that. But in this case, it is not a vocal. In this case, it's intro, keys, and E-G push. You've still got your drums in, but your main instruments is really what you're looking for. You're not writing down all the details, you're writing down of the main, and then you go down and you know that who's singing. Is it your backup singer that's singing? Because sometimes, Tiffany wrote the song, but sometimes let's say if Anne is doing it, or if Anne's got a backup singer, sometimes, let's say Misty, maybe she's the one that's predominantly singing. So make sure you know the one who's singing. Even if Anne is your set leader, you can't just assume that Anne's going to be leading this song. So you need to know who's singing. And then when you get to any types of transitions, like in this case, the song, after it comes through the verse, it goes back to the intro. So you want to write those notes again. Keys and E-G. And you're making sure that you're aware that you don't miss any transition, because it's going to go right back to the top. Boom, boom, boom. You're going to know, I do not want to miss that intro part. I want to make sure that those two things are predominant. So you're writing notes to give yourself keys that I'm going to push these two instruments. And then you go down and you've got drums in, and you don't need to make notes for everything. You already know that the drums are in. You've already set levels. But all of a sudden, you go through a chorus. Things begin to raise up a little bit. You go back into the intro, and then you're raising up for the second chorus as well. But then you come to that bridge, and that bridge, right? It's very drum heavy. It's drums and vocals. And sometimes I've seen the bridge go around where it's drums predominantly for one time, and then vocals come in, or sometimes the vocals come in right from the top of the bridge. Whatever that is, make your notes so that you do not miss that heavy drum part. There's nothing like having a huge heavy drum part like is in this song, and because you didn't push those sliders and you didn't push that those faders up and give the drums a little bit of lift, or didn't push the subgroups on the drums, then that drummer is in there bashing away, and his volume is still down on the level it was for the verses, and so it doesn't translate out through the speakers because the sound guy missed it and didn't push the subgroups for the drums, or didn't push that snare when it needs to be. We want to make sure that we're honoring all the work that they've done, and that the songs are translating out the speakers. And this will just help you. There's no way that you can remember all of the cues for every song in your head. And so that's why we're making these lead sheets for you, is because it's just way too much pressure on you and way too difficult for you to try to remember these things alone. So this is a quick snapshot, a quick tutorial. Remember, if things go soft at the end of a song, or if things get back up loud at the end of the song, not only are you going to want to come prepared with the notes from listening to the song throughout the week, but you know that once you get here on a Thursday and you transfer your notes from your pad to this lead sheet, you know that the band's going to start practicing it. And maybe they're not going to do the song exactly 100% like it was done on the link that was sent to you. So you want to be asking questions. Hey guys, did you go around on that chorus twice, and do you plan on building that? Is that what I heard? Or are you changing it to go soft? I don't want to miss a thing. And so don't be afraid to grab that talkback mic, ask questions, make sure you know. And what if the ending of a song is just going to come really soft, where on the link that you got, it was quite a boisterous ending? Don't miss a thing. Make sure that you know, make sure that you ask questions. I know I can speak for Ann too. We just want to make sure that you know that you are so much a part of the band. Having these lead sheets is going to bless you, I know it. And it's also going to help translate what the band's trying to say so that nobody misses a thing. So thanks for this. Thanks for spending time to listen to this. And make sure to locate your lead sheets, not only the ones that have been sent to you throughout the week. If you have the capacity to print them off, then great. Start making your notes early for each song. But if you don't have them, then you can make your notes on a separate pad of paper, transfer those notes when you get here on Thursday night, ask all the questions. By the time you leave Thursday night, you need to know those songs in and out, just like every musician is required to do. Be blessed, and that way you will even more feel like you're serving the band, serving the song. And there's no way to keep that all up in your brain. So I think you'd agree that we're pretty brilliant by handing you some of these lead sheets. So thanks for that. Thanks for all you guys do. We love you so much, and we're so thankful for the way that you translate the sound of this amazing band. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.